Hello, and welcome back to the Kyle Davis Show. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to break down the Green New Deal. Now, I'm not an expert. I'm going to pick at the most, basically, I'm going to go through it and pick out whatever I want. That's not the greatest, but I think that, let's break it down. So here we go. So, the October 18 entitled Special Report on Global Warming. So this report, right, found that human activity is the dominant cause. So here's what I'm going to say to that. Okay, you can find research that says whatever you want it to say. It's out there, and so I guarantee you that there's going to be research and things that will say this is wrong. Okay, over the past century, they may have picked over the past century specifically to have this reaction from you, right? And so, if you look at the past century, okay, so sure, there may be more things over the past century, but then the past century would only take you back to what, 1920? And so we have, how much have we really done, since, say the early 1900s versus, the last 300 years, last 400 years, last, 1,000 years. And so the last 100 years is a very small snippet to look at. And then if you look at the global temperatures, over the last, couple of centuries, over the last century, how the we can see and it can show how the Earth naturally rises and, the temperature rises and decreases. So it's unsure. I haven't read this specific report, but it's, they're picking and choosing, right? Changing climate is causing sea levels to rise. I don't know about that one. Causes severe storms. No, that's ridiculous. And other extreme weather, like what? Tornadoes? You're saying that humans are causing tornadoes or hurricanes or typhoons or whatever? Okay, critical infrastructure. Yeah, so if we built the infrastructure, yeah, we're going to cause it to deteriorate because we're using it. A global warming above mass immigration. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to say, well, these are immigrants of the climate change. These are, I don't remember what the term they were used for it, but they're basically saying that, well, these immigrants are victims of climate change and we have to take care of them. Yeah, no. United States, we don't have to take no. We don't have to take people because no. Okay, so wildfires. Actually, if you look at it, there's research that says if we have controlled wildfires, they do this all the time in Australia, okay? If you look at it, there are wildfires all the time because it actually increases the growth of plants and it's actually good for the environment. Controlled wildfires are good. And yeah, so okay, we can we prevent forest fire type thing. Okay, fine. But we can't prevent all of them with electricity and electrical storms or whatever. Okay, we have done some coral damage to the coral reefs. Okay, I mean, I get that. More than 300,000 be exposed globally to deadly heat stress. What? Because the temperature is rising just a little bit? No. Global temperatures must be, I don't know. I'm not sure about this specifically or the study that they used. We did have greenhouse gases, but see, here's the thing: is United States is actually a world leader, to my understanding, in having a clean environment. Why are we attacking the United States and trying to get United States to do better when we should be attacking, Asian countries like China? Why? They've done so much more to the environment, and they're hurting the environment so much more than we are. So why are we attacking ourselves when we've already done quite a bit? Okay, whatever. Or historically been responsible for a disproportionate amount. Yeah, I don't know. China's got more greenhouse emissions, and that's ridiculous. Again, they are picking and choosing. This study was. So this is supposed to be a Green New Deal, right? For climate change and protecting the environment. Okay. Life expectancy declining. Our life expectancy has been increasing. Across the board, it's been increasing. And so life expectancy declining, well, basic needs, so they're saying, okay, these are basic needs. Clean air, okay. Clean water, okay. Healthy food, okay. Adequate health care. Okay, yeah, we do need health care, but at the same time, health care is not a right, nor should it ever be a right. It is something that you can go after, but it's not something that should just be given to you. Okay, we have to pay those people who are providing the care. We can't just give it free. Okay, with basic needs, housing. Okay, transportation. Transportation, yes, but not everyone needs a car. There are plenty of people who operate without a car. It's unfortunate. Education as a basic need. There are a number of people who get there are a number of people who get by without a high school education. It sucks, but I agree that we need more people to be educated, but I don't think it should be free. I don't know if we should put it as a basic need that we need to supply it to everybody unconditionally. And I'm not sure how that has to do with the environment. A 4-decade trend of wage stagnation, deindustrialization, and anti-labor policies that lead to hourly wages overall stagnating. Okay, the third worst level of socioeconomic mobility. Okay, so let me find something real quick. Okay, third worst. Okay, so here's the deal with that. Okay, if all you need to do to raise yourself economically and financially is finish high school, okay, have a job, and don't have kids early. If you can do all those three things, you can raise yourself up. And sometimes you don't even need a high school degree. Or you should get a high school diploma or a GED or something of that nature. Do something to complete high school. But if you can do those couple of things, you will be fine. Kids are expensive. Trying to have unnecessary financial burdens obviously will be expensive. And so if you do things before you're financially unready to, you're going to suffer. And if you don't have a job, of course you're not going to move up, but you need a job. You need to graduate high school. And if you don't have kids early, you'll be fine. You will be able to move up. You will be able to achieve things that, if you're on a poor income level, or if you're, of the, working class, Of course you can raise yourself up. Just get a job, finish high school, and you'll be fine. Don't have kids. It's easy. Just don't do things that would make kids. It's that simple. The erosion of the earning and bargaining power of workers in the United States, and inadequate resource for public sector workers to confront the challenges of eliminate of climate change. Okay, so basically what they're saying is, okay, so the power of the workers is having an impact on climate change. So basically what they're saying is that this is corporate's problem. This is capitalism being evil. Okay, that's ridiculous. First off, how does earning and bargaining powers in the United States have an impact on climate change? It doesn't. That's the worker and that's the employer-employee relationship. That's the, okay, you work for me, I'm going to pay you. That really has nothing to do with climate change. What they're saying is capitalism is evil, and it needs to be the employee has to have more power. I think that's ridiculous. Okay, what else have we got? Top 1% of earners accruing 91% of... Again, how does this have anything to do with climate change? It doesn't. That's just saying millionaires and billionaires are evil. That's ridiculous. Someone doesn't get poor just because someone gets rich. That's not how it works. A large racial wealth divide amounting to a difference... Okay, no. There is no racial wealth divide. America is not as racist as it once was. Yeah, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, yeah, it was racist. And it was discriminate against black people, and there was oppression. But America has come so far, and so now it's, if you're not, it's a shock to be black and Republican. But if you're black and Democrat, okay, you're just fine. And I would say there's still racial discrimination, except now it's against black people and black Republicans than black Democrats. A gender earnings gap again, how does this relate to climate change? This does not relate to climate change, okay? What they are saying here is that women makes whatever cents on the dollar than men, okay? What they're essentially doing there is they are dividing the median earnings of men by the median earnings of women. It doesn't account for education. It doesn't account for hours worked. It doesn't account for job title. So a lead engineer who works 60 hours a week or more is going to make more money than a woman who works 40 hours a week as a social worker. That's just how it works. Or you can look at Elon Musk, who, he's rich, he's got lots of money, but he says he's worked, you can read about this, he's worked 60, 80 hours a week, and he gets paid that. And so men tend to work more. Men tend to put more into their career. But here's the deal. Women now are earning more degrees than men. And it's starting to have a shift. But it's not because that America is sexist or misogynistic. That's ridiculous. And again, has nothing to do with climate change. Okay. Where's the climate change, pollution, environmental, systemic, racial, economic, and Okay, some of this has to do with climate change, like the environment, deconstruction, but systemic, racial, again, what does that have to do with the climate? It has nothing to do with the climate. They're saying that, again, they're going back to racial inequality and economic injustice. That is ridiculous. Okay. There's no economic injustice. That's just not how it works. You can't just complain about the economy because you're poor. There's a reason why you're in that situation. It doesn't just happen. Now, it could be because you inherited that, and that would suck, but just claiming economic injustice and having money thrown at you is not going to work. And that's what this is sounding like, is you complain about the economy, you complain about how much money you have, and then I'm going to change this real quick here. Okay, that might be better. I'll move down just a little bit more. Okay. Where are we at? Again, economic has nothing to do with the environment. Climate change, a direct threat to national security in the United States by impacting in countries around the world. Again, we are doing so much towards impacting the climate already. Look at other countries. Okay, middle class, the United States. Okay. White House representatives that a new national economic mobilization on a scale is not recognize that a national social it's a historic opportunity to create millions of good high wage jobs. Okay, if we can have people to fill those jobs, we can't just have high paying jobs and then have low educated people fill them. That's not how it works. To provide unprecedented levels of prosperity and economic security. So basically what it's saying is, okay, we're just going to throw money at the problem and hope it, and say it's going to fix it. So they're trying to give money to all these people and counteract systematic injustice. So what they're saying is, well, there's economic injustice and we're going to fix it by throwing money at them, but with high paying jobs. But we can't fill those high paying jobs unless people are educated. But again, that is not a right. You actually have to do something with yourself. The sense of the White House representatives that it is the duty of the federal government to create a Green New Deal to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions. Yeah, good luck with that. Again, to create we talked about that, to invest in the infrastructure, to secure for all people in the United States clean water and air, okay. Eliminate I'm not sure what they mean by what are they being resilient to. Healthy food, okay. Access to nature, okay. A sustainable environment, okay. To promote justice and equality by stopping current, preventing future, and repairing historic oppression of indigenous people. So Native Americans. Okay, again, what does that have to do with the environment? Okay, what they're saying there is that Christopher Columbus was this evil guy, and it goes back to, we had this, a couple of months ago, where Christopher Columbus Day is terrible, and Thanksgiving is a terrible, oppressive holiday, and we just came in and take this. No, that is absolutely ridiculous. They're saying that we need to give land back or something. No, we're not going to do that. That is ridiculous. I agree that we shouldn't oppress people, but what are you going to do about it? And again, what does it have to do with the environment. No, just no. Rep, of color. So that sounds like reparations to me. No one in this current society was ever a slave. No one in this current society suffered because they were a slave. So reparations is a ridiculous idea. That's going to be tax money, and then, from specific people, from white people to black people. And then what's the price tag for all the slaves? Seriously, what's the price tag? How much does it cost? And is that ever going to be enough? Is that going to be too much? It's just ridiculous. Oppression of low-income workers, women, the elderly, the unhoused. Okay, I agree we need housing for everyone, but people with disabilities and youth. Repairing historic oppression, stopping current, preventing future, and repairing historic oppression of youth. Did you even, whoever wrote this, did you even read it? Again, what does it have to do with the climate? Building a resiliency against climate change, disaster. Okay, maybe. I agree that we should protect the environment against climate change disasters, such as extreme weather. Okay. So that's, to me, that sounds like protecting the environment from what it damages itself. Repairing and upgrading the infrastructure of the United States, including eliminating pollution and greenhouse gases. Okay, maybe. Guaranteeing universal access to clean water. I mean, we need to pay for it somehow. We can't just give it for, it just doesn't happen for free. It needs to be paid for. Reducing the risk proposed by imminent impacts by ensuring that any infrastructure bill considered by Congress addresses climate change. Meeting 100% of the power demand in the United States through clean, renewable, zero-emission, including dramatically expanding and upgrading renewable power sources. And so basically what they're saying is, yeah, we need clean energy. Okay, but here's the deal. If we look at, I want you to Google this. How much energy do wind turbines actually make? You'll be shocked. It's less than 10%. It's less than 20%. It's next to nothing. How much do solar panels actually create? It's next to nothing. We do not have the infrastructure. We do not have the ability to make energy, clean, renewable energy without fossil fuels. What we need to do is go to nuclear plants, okay? Look at how much energy was actually created by nuclear plants, and look at how much energy was actually created by wind turbines, by solar power. It's next to nothing. It's insanely expensive. I think the average lifespan of a wind turbine is, I think it was like 5 years or 10 years. I may be wrong. I don't actually remember right now, but it's next to nothing. It's going to be insanely expensive and next to, it's ridiculous. Look it up. Just look it up. Surpassing math growth. Kind of talked about that. Working collaboratively. Okay, we need to work collaboratively with farmers and ranchers. Okay. Support family farm. Okay. Okay. Building more sustainable food. Okay, again, it has to be paid for. Can't just be free. But if we can do it, fantastic. Overhauling transportation systems. Okay, again, we are not going to be able to create something that's going to cost insanely expensive. For those of you who have played the game City Skylines, okay, it's a great example of how expensive these things can get. Okay. Mitigating and managing long-term adverse health, economic, how does that no. And other effects of pollution, okay, maybe. Removing greenhouse gases from the atmosphere, okay, we've kind of went over that. Cleaning up existing hazardous waste, and okay, so maybe, cleaning up existing hazardous waste sites. Okay. Identifying other emission and pollution sources and creating solutions to remove them. Okay, maybe. Promoting international exchange of technology, expertise, products, funding, services with the aim of making the United States the international leader on climate action. Okay, maybe, but we have to get other countries on board. Must be developed. Okay. Providing and delivering a way that ensures that the public receives an appropriate ownership stakes and returns on investment. That sounds like stock market stuff, but okay. Ensuring that the federal government takes into account complete environmental and social costs, and okay, so that could be more environment. Focus frontline vulnerable communities so that all people in the United States may be full and equal participants. So they're basically forcing you. So this is saying, you're gonna either do it. You're gonna do it and you're gonna like it. That's absolutely ridiculous. But whatever. Making public investments in the research development and new cleanup. Okay, so that's more environment. Directing investments to spur economic development, deepen industry, and build while prioritizing high quality job creation, economic, social, environment benefits, and frontline vulnerable communities. Okay, so basically we talked about this. You have to have the people educated in order to create these jobs, but that goes back to the education is not a right. It is something you pursue. Shouldn't it create high that again you have to have the education. So here we go. Ensuring the green mobilization creates high quality that pay prevailing wages, hires local workers, officers, and advancement opportunities, and guarantees the wages and benefits partly for workers affected by the transition. So here we go. Ensuring that the Green New Deal mobilizes, creates. So basically what they're saying up here somewhere is that everyone has to be involved in this Green New Deal. Okay, everyone. Oh, I don't know where it was. Okay, but what they're saying down here is ensuring that creates, these jobs, advance and guarantees wage and benefits partly to workers affected by it. So everyone's going to be affected by this transition. Okay, guaranteeing a job with a family sustaining adequate wage, family and medical leave. So they're saying they're going to get it. Period. They're going to just give you a job. They're guaranteeing you a job with a sustaining wage. How are we going to pay for this? We cannot pay for that. Okay, we cannot just pay for everyone being guaranteed a job without the ability to do so. It's going to destroy America. Strengthening, protecting the right of all workers. Okay, that's more like unions. Strengthening and enforcing labor workplace. Enacting and enforcing trade rules. Okay. So yeah, up here, we cannot just guarantee a job without the means to pay for it. Ensuring that public lands and oceans are protected through is not abused. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Obtaining the free, prior, and informed consent of indigenous peoples for all decisions. I mean, there's already protected land in the United States. So it's just another thing that says that the lands are protected. Providing all people so here we go. Here's another thing. Providing all people in the United States with high quality healthcare. That they're saying healthcare is a right. Healthcare is not a right. It is something you have to pay for with taxes or other means. Affordable, safe, and adequate housing. So what they're saying is they're going to give everyone a job, or they're going to give everyone high quality healthcare and affordable, safe. So they're basically going to give everyone healthcare. They're going to give everyone a house. Well, they already tried this in California, in Los Angeles. I don't remember where it was. The highest area of veterans who are homeless. They threw like millions of dollars. They threw millions of dollars at this, and for how many housing units and all this stuff, and none of it's been done. It's been years, and it's fallen apart. That doesn't work. It's been tried. It doesn't work. Economic security. So they're going to provide all people in the United States with economic security. How? How are you going to pay for this? You can't just throw money at the problem. You can't just print more money. That's going to destroy the United States. Okay, so there's the Green New Deal for you. I think that it has more to do with socialism and ensuring people have high quality health care, affordable, safe, and adequate housing, and economic security. That's all it is. That's all the Green New Deal is. There is so much in here that hasn't to do with the economy. It's sickening. Or not the economy, in the environment. It's sickening. And all they're really trying to do is make it so that people have it's just trying to make sure that people have things like what Bernie Sanders is proposing. That's why Bernie Sanders is so knit close with AOC, is that Bernie Sanders says that we need high quality healthcare. We need a one-payer tax system. We need $15 an hour wage. We need, all these things. And they're saying that we need to bring in people who are victims of the quote unquote climate catastrophe. That's ridiculous. It's insane. I really don't think this bill, this Green New Deal, is aimed towards the environment. I really don't. And so there you have it. It's really quite short. And I know it seems like most people haven't taken the time to read it. So here you go. In, a half hour, the Green New Deal. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Maybe. If I can, there we go. Bye.